Hello and welcome to another episode of All Sports Takes. We haven't seen y'all in a while, but we are back. NFL season is about to start. Premier League is starting. We're hoping to get some videos talking about it. John, how has your hiatus been?
It's been good. I've just been, focused on school for the first part, then having a good summer. Been missing football and soccer though, so glad to see it's back. What you been up to, Andrew?
Just been chilling, focusing on school, but All Sports Takes really fills a void that there is in my heart. All Sports Takes is really what life's all about. And so I'm just glad to be back for the channel. You know
I'm
what
glad to be back.
I mean?
We're gonna try and stay consistent this year. Just really have some football prediction videos coming out here soon too.
Yep, getting excited. We're going to get a consistency. And the start of the consistency is getting our Premier League predictions out before the Premier League has started.
One day before.
Hey, but that's what we're doing. John, we're going to be going from 20th to 1st with your Premier League predictions for the 2025-2026 season. And at the end, we'll be doing our top four. Top four is looking really exciting this year. I don't know about the bottom half. I thought it was pretty, self-explanatory, but go ahead and tell me who's your 20th spot, John.
So for me, I'm just gonna start off with the bottom three. I think every team from the EFL is getting regulated. Burnley, Sunderland, and Leeds. I think all those teams are not as good as the teams that stayed up last year. So I have all three getting regulated. I don't really know too much about them. So I put Burnley at 20th, Sunderland 19th, and 18th in Leeds, just because Leeds has been in the league in the past years. I feel like they have more experience. I think they have the best chance of staying up, but I still don't think they're going to stay up.
Most of the sports betting lines have Leeds as the best chance to stay up. I think it's possible. I my bottom three. I do have a surprise here. I don't know. I think some people are gonna be upset, but I've just seen the way this team's lost their manager. They've lost star players, a lot of star players. They lost their captain. They lost their goalie. So I got Burnley in 20th, Sunderland in 19th, and then I got Brentford in 18th.
Mm,
And
mm.
for all the reasons I've listed, Thomas Frank is obviously transitioned to Spurs. Embuemo is now with Man United. Wissa is linked to many clubs of leaving. And they lost Norgard. They lost Flecken. Obviously, they're bringing in Kelleher, but, I just don't trust this squad. And I think that in comparison to Leeds United, who and Sunderland, who have shown that they're willing to spend money, I think that one of them's going to come up top. And I like Leeds doing it. So I got Leeds United at 17th as well. Who do you got there?
Mm. At 17th, I have Brentford for all the reasons Andrew said. I mean, Embuemo contributed most to that team last year, scoring a lot of goals and a lot of assists. He was really the lead on the attack there. He's gone. Wissa is still there right now, and he is really their only goal scorer. If he leaves, they're probably going to get relegated, but I'm banking the fact that he's going to stay and help them get up. I think Brentford has some good players still. They always seem to fight. They seem to put up a lot of goals, but they're just lost a lot of key pieces in the offseason and their manager. So I do have them at 17th, but I think they'll stay up. I think they have them to stay up.
I think it's possible for sure. I'm kind of, it's a heart pick. I really like Leeds United. I'm hoping they stay up. 16th, I've got the boys in blue from Merseyside. I got Everton in 16th. I just don't think
Mm.
new stadium, new transition. They're losing. They lost a lot of players, a lot of less of veteran presence. I still don't know how they're going to score goals. I know they just got Jack Grealish. I still don't know how they're going to score goals. I know Iliman Ndiaye is supposed to be pretty good, but and he does ball at times. But I just don't think having Ndiaye at that top striker like they normally do, and having Beto there, it's not a consistent way to score goals. Pickford is 33 years old. It's an aging team. I just don't trust this Everton side.
Mm. That's quite a pick for me. A lot of people have Everton a lot higher this year. What's he pick? I have Wolves at 16. I really think the only player is Lee Chan. They've just been really close to getting relegated the past few years. They haven't done much this offseason. And I got him at 16th. I think Everton's a crazy take there, but
I got Wolves
that's
at
just them.
15th. And I
Yeah.
think that you're really underestimating the presence that Wolves has. I know that they lost Cunha, that's a hard loss, but they do have Strand Larson, who got them about 20 contributions last season. He got them a lot of goals, performed very well. He's young, got them hat tricks. They have a good, solid defense. They lost Aitnori, they lost Cunha. That's about it, though. they're not going to be exceptional, but they will stay up. And I think that they have a good manager there. Uh, they're going to stay up.
I mean, one place difference, not that big. What do you have at 15, Andrew?
That was my 15. Wolves was my 15.
Oh yeah, I have Fulham at 15. I don't think they've done too much this offseason. They had a good campaign last season. I mean, the fans were disappointed, but I think that they're just happy to stay up. I just haven't seen them done too much this offseason.
Yeah, at the 15th spot, I have had Wolves, but at my 14th spot, I have West Ham. For me, I have
Mm.
West Ham there. I know everybody talks about Jared Bowen. I know we're hearing things about Fulkrug. I know Lucas Paqueta is back. Um, I just don't trust the squad. I don't trust the defense that they have. And I just think West Ham, I just don't know. They just lack something for me. And so I just have them at 14th. I think they're just outclassed by teams like Fulham, Crystal Palace, you know.
That's fair. At the 14th spot, I have Crystal Palace. I know they won the Community Shield, but I don't think they're that good of a team. They have um Mateta and they got Easy, and that's really about it. I don't think they have many other players, but I think if Mateta gets off to a good start, he could do good and score a lot of goals, but I just don't see it happening. They got Ben Chilwell, but other than that, they've lost a lot of players. So I have them at the 14th spot.
Yeah, Mateta, my boy Easy. Uh, my boy Eze. He's a great player, and I'm really happy that they kept him. That's why I have Crystal Palace a few spots up. But in my 13th spot, you've mentioned this team. I got Fulham. They keep their players. They don't really sell anybody. They kept Muniz. They've kept solid players, and they haven't really gotten rid of anyone. I like Anderson a lot. And so for that reason, they're 13th. I just think they just outclass a lot of these teams with being able to keep a consistent squad. It's really important in these lower class. And I think that Craven Cottage is a great environment. You know all about that. And I think that they bring a presence that intimidates teams.
Okay, at the 13th spot, I have West Ham. I think Jeroboam is a great player. He's going to score a lot of goals this season for West Ham. I think the addition of Callum Wilson is really going to help them out. And I think they're just going to be a mid ladder team, but I think they're definitely staying up. I don't see a problem. They have about the same squad as last year. And I think Callum Wilson and Jeroboam could really do some damage this year.
At 12, I have Crystal Palace. I think that they're a great squad. I like them a lot, and I just think that they lack. They have Munoz, they have Guehi, but I think that Guehi is probably going to get poached. And I also just don't necessarily trust their midfield enough. We know that they have the capabilities in attack, but they can't hold the ball for long enough. And for me, it will lose them games against top-sided clubs, and I think that they're going to stay in 12 because of that.
At 12, I have Bournemouth. They've had a lot of transfers this season. Neto left, but I think they're just going to stay about the same as they did last year. Just another mid-table team.
All right, at my 11th spot, I have Bournemouth. You have Everton way too high, by the way. Just saying. The fact that you haven't said them is
You're
crazy.
you're
But
sleeping on them, bro.
at my 10th spot, I have Brighton. Everton was like 16th last year, right?
No, just you're hating,
All
bro.
right.
Just wait.
Anyway, at my 10th spot, I got or 11th spot, I got Bournemouth. I think for everything John said, they have the attacking capabilities with Utara, Semenyo, Evan Nielsen, but they lost Hoyson and they lost Kirkes. They're losing players, and they also um are just a weaker defense now. And so for this reason, I think that they're going to be able to win games by just scoring goals, but it's not going to be enough to take them up into the top half of the table.
10, 11. I have Spurs. Obviously, the big news this summer is that Sun has transferred. Last year was a complete disaster for them. Their defense was horrible. They couldn't get a solid back line. But I think this year they're going to get under control. I think they have a lot of great players on the team. I know they're battling some injuries. Kulusevski's going to be out, and they might struggle to start. But I definitely think they're going to bounce back. They have the potential. No, they used to be really good in the past. I think they're not going to be as low as they were last year. No chance. So I'm going to put them at 11 this year.
Yeah, at my 10th spot, I have Spurs. I just think Spurs have too much going on. The Super Cup kind of showed that they lack the intensity to compete with top tier squads for 90 minutes, where they blew a 2-0 lead to PSG yesterday. Um, they did sign Kudus, and they do have Dominic Solanke. They have some great players, don't get me wrong, but they lost Son, which is a big hit. Their team is really, really young. They didn't make many signings. Um, I just don't know how much I trust this squad. And on top of that, with them having to worry about Champions League soccer, I just think that they have too much on their plate. They have too much on their plate. They're gonna finish 10th.
All right, at 10th, I have Everton. Um, Now I know Andrew does not like this pick. I feel like he's justified putting them low just for the reason they have a new stadium and that can really change the team's morale. But I don't think they're going to finish as low as he thinks. I think they're going to be super good. Their defense is really good. I know Jordan Pickford's aging, but they got Tarkowski back there. They got a solid back line. Their struggle has been scoring goals. They brought in Jack Grealish. I don't know how good he's going to be. Haven't really played a full season at Man City. He was on the bench a lot, but I think he could really contribute to the goals. As Andrew mentioned, India, I think he can really score some goals too. And I really think this is going to be a good season for Everton. I think the new team is going to help. I really think they're going to have a good season. I think Andrew's sleeping on way too much.
No, I'm not. Simple as that. At ninth, I got Brighton. I think Brighton has a good squad. I like Matoma. I like all these signings. They've been trusting. They have a new 18-year-old Greek striker. They've been trusting these Greek players. They haven't sold much of their team. Obviously, they lost Estupinian, João Pedro, notable losses. But I do like that the main squad. I like Jorginho Rutter. I think that they have a lot of potential, and I see that they not having to worry about European football as much. Not. They're not going to get distracted. They're going to be focusing on fixtures, and that's going to take them away. They're going to get some good results against the Spurs of the world, the Man Uniteds of the world, and I think that's what's going to send them to ninth.
As good at ninth, I have Man United. Obviously, horrible season last year, but I think they're definitely going to bounce back. It's Man U. They're definitely going to have it in them. They went out and got Brian Mbeumo, who's a great goal scorer at Brentford. I think he's going to do numbers for Man U this year. I think with this offseason, I think they're just going to forget about last season. They're going to figure it out. I think they're going to do a lot better this season. I don't know about a top five finish at all, but I think ninth is a fair place to put them. It could really be an up and down season for them.
And I also have a problem this year. I think what I've noticed is that there's a lot of teams who are kind of just falling apart. Like
Yeah.
you think about Nottingham, they lost so many players. I mean, they lost players. You think about Aston Villa, they're having struggles with losing players. They didn't make any real signings. They just lost Jacob Ramsey today. Newcastle, is Isak even going to be playing? Man United, they have all these. I know they got Benjamin Sesko and Embuemo, Cunha, but they have so many problems. You know what I mean? Spurs have so many problems. These teams that you normally see as kind of like solid, we think they're going to do pretty decent. I don't have trust in them anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is how I saw Chelsea a couple years back when they were just signing all those players, but they didn't have really the chemistry. But now, a few years later, they've actually developed a pretty good team with these new players, but it just took a little bit of time for them to
Yeah.
get back to where they were. So I see like Man U and Spurs are maybe at the point Chelsea was 2 or 3 years ago.
I think that there's a major gap between the top four, who I think we will have the same teams of Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, and every other squad below them. I think there's a huge gap, and I think that the top four you can't really mess up this year. Anyway, at my eighth spot, I have Man United. I just don't trust them. They're all over the place. I don't trust Amorim at all. I know they signed Benjamin Sesko, Matias Cunha, but they lost Anthony Garnacho. They're losing all these players that are not in the project. Rashford, they're losing a lot of players. I just don't trust Man United. They don't have a good defense. They're aging. Bruno Fernandes, the best player, is aging. I just don't trust them.
Yep, that's fair. At the eighth spot, I have Brighton. Just split me and Andrew switch. Obviously, they lost Pedro, as he mentioned, but I still think Brighton has a solid team. They're always competing. I think they're going to have a good season. Eighth. With the top four being so good, I just don't think they have a shot, even top five maybe. But I think this is a right path for Brighton, and I think they're going to have a good season.
In my seventh spot, I have Newcastle, and I have Newcastle because I just don't know where they are right now. Is Isak going to be playing? These are question marks. He's saying he's never going to be playing another match for Newcastle ever again. That is what he has said. So who's the striker? Who's going to fill in? They don't have a striker right now. You know what I mean? They got
Yeah.
Anthony Alonga, but they didn't really make that many signings. I mean, I just do not trust the squad enough. They haven't made any signings that have told me that they're gonna make the big leap, and so I'm just gonna put them at seventh for that reason.
I think that's fair, but I don't know if I agree with that. At seventh, I have Nottingham Forest. Obviously, the loss of Alenga is pretty big, but they have retained pretty much the same team as I did last year. Chris Wood up top, still a solid defense. I think they're going to be in that top 5 to top 8 range. I don't think they'll crack the top 4, but they'll definitely have a good season.
Hmm. At my sixth spot, I have Aston Villa, and I think that they're a good club, but I think that they're gonna have be a little overwhelmed. They didn't make many important signings. I know they have Unai Emery. I love him as a coach, but I just don't. Um, I don't necessarily trust them as much as I have in previous seasons because they haven't made the signings. They haven't showed that they want to spend the money. I know that they kept Ollie Watkins, but that's just how.
Yeah. Yeah, my sixth spot, I also have Austin Villa for the same reasons as Andrew, pretty much. I think they have a really good team and a lot of goal scorers, but again, that top 5 is really good, and I just don't see him getting in there. So I'll put him at 6.
In my fifth spot, I have Nottingham Forest. Chris Wood, they kept Morgan gives way. They kept a lot of great players. They kept Ina, they kept Anderson. They also have Nico Williams. They have a lot of great players. They kept Sells. They kept everyone that they needed to do. They had a lot of success last season. Same coach. I trust Nottingham Forest fifth.
At fifth, I have a surprise. I have Chelsea. Sorry, I have Newcastle. Sorry, it's my bad. Got Newcastle at the 5. I think they still have a really solid team. They've had a lot of turmoil this season. If Isaac stays, I will say they will be in the 4th seat. But if he does leave, or doesn't play at all,
Well,
then
he's on
they will be
strike.
it.
I think what will
That's what I'm
happen
saying.
is he's gonna say, and he won't play any games.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he does come out and play, because usually once the season starts, they want to play. But if he does stay on strike and doesn't play, they will be fifth. They have no other striker. But if he does play, I think they'll be fourth. But for now, I'm gonna put him at fifth.
Top four is pretty interesting, John. Could go. It could really go anyway. I like every single club. I think is performing really well. Um, I really think that it could go anyway. I think Chelsea's a scary team. You know what I mean? I think Man City's a scary team. I think they're all scary teams. I'm curious to hear who you have in the fourth spot.
The fourth spot, I have Chelsea. I still think they're coming up. I don't I don't see them beating Liverpool. I don't see them beating Arsenal. They might get a game on Man City, but I just don't see them being in that top 3. They've came a long way from where they were 3 years ago. They got a lot of great players. Reece James coming back. I'm excited to see him play. He was always one of my favorite players to watch, and I'm excited. They have Cucurella, one of the best left backs in the game. So I got him at fourth. A lot of potential though.
Yeah, a lot to be excited for. I've heard people saying that they can win the league. I think that this is possible, but I just don't. They have too much variance in their club. They have way too many players. I don't know who's going to start all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my third spot, I have Arsenal. This may
Oh, okay.
surprise, yeah. I have Arsenal, and I think that Gyökeres is going to be a great signing. I think he's great. Madueke, I don't know about that as much. They got Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi. I just don't trust Arteta as a coach. He hasn't shown that he can win anything. I don't trust him. Simple as that.
Mm, fair points. At third, I have Man City. A little bit of a shock. Um, obviously the pet team, they're going to be good. I don't see them no chance to miss the top 4 this season. I just don't know how they fare against Liverpool and Arsenal. Like those are 2 solid teams. Obviously, Man City's come off a rough year, but I'm gonna have to put them at third.
Go ahead, John, for you too.
At 2, I have Arsenal. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, as Andrew said, that they did get a lot of transfers. I think they're pretty much the same team as last year. Saka, one of the best right wing slash right midfielders in the Prem or in the world. And I just see them at second. Simple as that.
I think that Liverpool is going to be a world class team this year. I think
Yeah.
they have a lot going on for them, but I think a lot of people aren't talking about the worries that I see with this squad. We have no defender depth whatsoever. You know, um, I don't. In the center backs, if Virgil or Konate gets hurt, we just signed a 18-year-old from Italy, but who's going to fill in that for them? That's a big worry that I have for this club. They have a lot of new players. They lost Luis Diaz. Jota, unfortunately, may rest in peace. Um, they look shaky against Crystal Palace in the Community Shield. They didn't win, and I think that they're going to be a great club. Don't get me wrong. I just for some reason I just see Pep's team. This is probably his last year at Man City. He's got a lot of new players. He's building for the future. I see them really coming close and getting close to Liverpool. I see that them getting maybe 2 or 3 games away from Liverpool. But like everybody else, I'll have Liverpool at top. I do think it'll be shaky. I don't think they'll stay at the top of the whole season. And I think that I have Man City at number 2.
I do like Liverpool this season. I know they had some woes in the preseason. Mo Salah isn't looking as strong as he usually is, but it is preseason. And I still think they're obviously going to have a great year. They do have a lot going on Champions League too. So it's going to be difficult to see this top three. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I think it could be a three-way title race, maybe even a four-way title race come the end of the season, come May. So it'll be exciting for sure.
Mm-hmm. So we both have Liverpool winning it. We both have the same top 4. Similar relegations, but I think that this season will be more chaotic than what we have seen in the past. I'm really curious to see how Chelsea does. They're looking exciting. I'm curious to see how Gyökeres goes. There's a lot of question marks coming into this. It's going to be a great year for fantasy.
It's going to be fun there, yeah. Top 5,000 finish coming this year, by the way.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We're looking forward to do some NFL videos. We'll probably do our division predictions and record predictions for each team in the upcoming days. And besides that,
Yeah,
that's about it, isn't
go.
it?
Yep.
Thank you for watching All Sports Takes, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.